And welcome everybody to another episode of Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time comes from the comic book world. He is a comic book creator. He has his own comic, Ghost Man. We're also going to be talking about how he draws Fright Night sketches and the punk rock magazine. So let's give a virtual warm welcome to Blair Webb.
What's going on?
Thank you, Blair, for being on the show. Um, so, as a creator yourself, um, what made you decide that this was for you?
Well, I've been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil. So that's
Okay.
I've been in love with drawing cartoons forever. My grandfather was a graphic designer. Um,
Awesome.
I that was something that he always wanted me to kind of go towards. I let him down a lot because all I did what kept doing was drawing cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I mean, because that's all the stuff that I always loved. Like when I see like the stuff that he used to draw, like from like Bugs Bunny and like all his little doodles, that was what inspired me to like get going on this. And I've always I've just always loved drawing. I always encourage people to draw. Always finish what you start. And as far as like the comic book end of things, Ghost Man came to me as a really quick idea around 1999, and it was
Oh,
my way of making my own comic book character. And I've been drawing Ghost Man ever since, like on and off. Like I'll stop for a while and then we'll go back to it because we get busy. But I
uh-huh.
mean, it's just something that I will continue to draw, and I plan on drawing Ghost Man probably for the rest of my life.
It made me wonder because of the year you said you created it in 1999. You didn't like want to like it wasn't like on your bucket list. Y2K's coming. I better get this
No,
done before if everything goes down.
no,
That's good to know.
no. I had it was an idea. I was working in a warehouse, and I always loved drawing
Okay.
superheroes, and I
Oh,
created. I wrote this entire backstory on post-its
yeah.
of this character, and eventually I self-published in 2005, and then I built a website and started releasing 10-page dollar issues. And then from there, it went all the way up to, I think we took a break at issue 23 because things, life happens and things get busy, and eventually we'll get back to it. Right now, that's pretty much where it sits. I know the misses. So I'm always analog. Like, give me a pencil and I'm good. I've never done digital before. This is the first year that Dana, the boss lady, has decided I need to start progressing. I need to learn the old iPad Procreate stuff. So
Ah.
bought one this year, and the way we're doing it is we're gonna resurrect Ghost Man. I'm going back to issue number 19, I think, and we're gonna just redraw the entire thing on Procreate. So it's my way of teaching myself how to really, really use this thing, and at the same time, produce something really cool for people that love our stuff.
Yep. And when and when I thought you like resurrected, it's a cheesy kind of way or parody would say it being like that. It's kind of like Dr. Frankenstein making recreating
Yeah,
the monster. You flip the toggle.
exactly. It's like,
I've
all
done
right, let's bring him back to life.
it.
So yeah, I mean, look, between that and then, so what we ended up doing is we stopped Ghostman for a while because Dana had her own story that we wanted to draw, which was Little Zombie Squad. So that's all drawn now. That's done. I got hired to do a book, which was the Christmas Night of the Living Dead, written by Matt Lake. So we did that one.
Okay.
Um, it's all just zombies, just crazy zombie
Zombie.
stuff. But but yeah, so after that, it was like, okay, so now we're going to try and turn it back on to Ghostman for a while. I think it's gonna work out. It'll be a good thing.
Yeah, I think that it's a great way. It's progressing. Um, you and I, because you don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little egg, a little. So I'm an artist as well. It's more just of a hobby for me, but since I was a little boy, I would doodle. I used to doodle on my homework. I used to turn in my homework and put a sketch like by
Isn't that
there.
like the best
Next,
though? You never usually get it all done in art class, but you draw a hell lot better in math.
yeah.
You're just sitting there like, yep, I got this.
I don't know 12, but I know this skater dude
But I
doesn't know
got
either.
this skater punk down. Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
And we used to play win, lose, or draw as a family. So, did you have kind of any other interactions when you were younger with drawing? And uh,
Well, I mean, I was always drawing. My my parents at the time would one it was always usually encouraged by my grandparents, and then my parents were always looking at it like, he doesn't leave the house, he doesn't go outside, he just kind of draws all the time. There was that stuff. But I mean, yeah, I was always at a young age just coming up, and that's what I did, man. I just drew all the time. I mean, later on, got I met fellow artists and hung out with them for a hot minute and worked with them on some of their stuff. Was part of a crew for a little while, which was fun. But after so long, they basically, it was more of a 3-man show and not a 4-man show, and I was kind of that fourth man. So I was just like, all right, I get it.
okay,
I got to roll. That's fine. So
yeah,
I mean, it works out. But yeah, I mean, we do shows now. I mean, I can't take too much credit, man. Like Dana runs like everything. So she picks out like what we're doing with the shows, what we're going to next. And we work so well as a team. So it's like, whatever I'm drawing, if you see something colored digitally, that was her. 9 times out of 10. It wasn't, so I'll draw it and then ink it and then hand it over to her, and she'll rock it out in there. Or she'll do like I'll do a sketch cover and then I'll hand it over to her to do the marker work. So yeah, I mean, it's come us getting together 4 years, I guess, was about almost 5 years now. Being together and just working so well as a team has been awesome. I mean, I feel like we've been together longer than we have because it works out so well. But yeah, I mean, it's just been amazing.
exactly. Well, first of all, congrats for 5 years.
Yeah,
Um,
well, 4 years, going on 5. We've been together for 5, but married for 4.
and it just a lot of people don't know that like with doing these things that are sometimes like out of the regular job realm, like all the other things that follow, as far as the business side and trying to get everything together and production and everything. They don't see the full process of it all. They just see the final product.
Yeah, it takes a lot, man. I mean, when you look at it, you figure a 24-page book, right? Think about it. You're
Mhm.
penciling 24 pages. You lay
Oh
that
yeah.
sometimes you figure every page is 11/17. Now take that and
Mhm.
lay 24 of them in a row across the floor and look at the body of work there. Then remember, you got to pick it all up and ink it.
Oh
And then
yeah.
you got to scan all that in, and then you're putting it in there and coloring the whole thing. After it's all in there, then you're sending it to someone else to print. You got to save up the money to do that.
Hmm.
Or you're sending it, if you're not doing the lettering yourself, you're sending it to a letterer who then has to put all your words there onto all your pictures. I mean, it's a lot that goes into comic books. And I think a lot of it does get taken for granted because, yeah, you just say, okay, well, this was a fun book. I read through it in 5 minutes and I'm done.
It's very true. I have known because somebody wanted me to draw, and I was like, I cannot just commit to the whole thing. I
Well,
feel like I draw like 2 pages, and
I
it'd
will
be
tell
like,
you, like, so right now, kind of jumping over to Hold Up real quick. Hold Up magazine We're trying to build up. So Hold Up Magazine started, advertising different punk bands, local punk bands, and now has progressed a little bit towards we're trying to let like bigger acts along with the local acts to kind of give it some more attention. Obviously, there's our Hold Up girl and boss lady, which is Daner666. Please check her out on Facebook and everywhere else. But she's always in the Hold Up magazine, as our bombshell or lunatic, depending on what mood she's in.
Yes.
But we also want to build a comic book section, and more or less for cartoons, for people that are just looking to do like 3 panels or 4 panel work, and just want to tell a quick joke. And I really would love to be able to like not only show these bands and show the models, but at the same time also feature local cartoonists, who don't have to be like local. It could be anywhere really, but that want to just simply are half decent and can tell a joke, and they wanted to throw it in something. It's a great option for them to kind of just get something out there and say they were involved in it. So that is something that we're kind of playing with the idea right now. I mean, right now we're also just looking at other artists to be like, okay, would you mind drawing a sexy leprechaun or something like that, and then hiring them and grabbing the commission from them and putting it in the mag. But I mean, that is a larger section that we are trying to kind of boost out a little bit, develop.
I had a joke as soon as you said sexy leprechaun. I was like, ooh, where's me gold? And that was
where's the gold?
Yes, where is it? Ooh, that was but so what is kind of like your dream goal?
My dream goal? Oh, that's easy. That is to draw one thing in a Batman comic book, whether it's an ad, whether it's a pinup, whether it's background for 3 pages, doesn't matter. Like that to me is like the pinnacle. Like once you get to that, then I just light my drawing board on fire and I walk away. That's it.
Finn.
Done. Don't do anything else from that point. Just be like, oh well, he drew in Batman. Okay, good. Nothing else.
You can do like the whole face palm camera.
Right, exactly. They're like, nope, no future plans to do anything else. Thank you.
Let's do that. Oh man.
I'll buy like 100 issues of the same thing and be like, what did you do? The tree in that panel. See it? That's me. I did that.
Oh yeah. But I do know a lot of comic book, or I do know a fair share of local comic book artists. How far does your comic book reach? Does it reach just in your state, or does it go outside?
It really depends. As far as Ghostman, anybody can go buy it. It was I think it's on Amazon still for $1 or $1.02. So that kind of went everywhere because it's digital. I tried to hit the digital market with that. Other than that, it's the other stuff that we do is primarily local. I try to stay within the tri-state area because that's where our friends are and that's where most of our fans are. So we try to, keep to the fans. We are looking to kind of go a little further. I got some friends on the West Coast that are fans as well. So whenever we can, once we get another book going, like really going, we'll try to save up and just do the whole thing again, do the whole tour, go to Florida, go to California, hit up the Sundial Bridge Comic-Con out there. And yeah, I mean, we'll do that again. It's just a matter of saving time and making sure you have something to show. Last thing you want to do is go out on the road and go on tour and be like, I don't really have anything new. It's just the same stuff I had last time.
Yeah, this is true. So when you sell this, do you sell this like mostly at conventions within your area?
Yeah. So so most of the time, right now we're currently shopping conventions for our new horror convention home. I did the logo for Pop Rock and Horror a few years back.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was going to be our horror show, but with the pandemic and everything else, that show kind of it had to kind of dissipate. It might come back, you never know. But we did did that one. That was our home for a while. For horror, we have the Maryland Toy Expo, which is always, those guys are great. Mark and Christian have an amazing show every year. I always do some artwork for it, and I've also designed the little PT guy that you'll see, the little robot.
Okay.
So that was something we all came up with, and it seems to have become their little mascot, which is great. So we do that show twice a year, and then a friend of mine runs the Ocean City, Maryland Comic Con, and that, if you ever get an opportunity to go to that show, please do. It's a great little, it's not little anymore. It's a great show. And it falls right after Thanksgiving. I think it's December 9th this year. So right between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's a good last show before it's like the dead season until like March. But it's a lot of fun. There's usually some celebrities, and one of the great things about that show is they don't try to hurt the pocket. If you remember back when Wizard World started, they used to it'd be like $40 a ticket, but you used to get a bunch of stuff. Then later on, it was like, okay, it's $60 a ticket, and you don't get anything. You get like a program. And then it's like, okay, well, now if I'm taking myself and my kid, and they don't care their age, so it's still $60 a ticket.
Yeah.
I just spent $120 to get in. Woo!
Exactly.
So Ocean City, Maryland Comic Con's done a really good job of keeping their prices low, so that you don't feel that way when you get in the door, and you do get to it's a fun show. It's a good time. So between that one and the Maryland Toy Expo. In fact, Maryland Toy Expo this year, if you're familiar, they have the voice of the Batman animated series. They have Poison Ivy. They have, who also voiced Shira. They have the gentleman that voiced Robin and Nightwing.
Okay.
They're going to have the Danhausen, who's a wrestler, if you're familiar. He'll be there. I believe there's another wrestler as well. There's the Jeep from Jurassic Park for taking pictures. And it's growing. The show is really, really growing. It's getting bigger. I think it's been 2 rooms this year. So that's going to be June 10th for that show. And then they'll have another one probably in November. I think the date's still to be determined for the November one. But yeah, those are the shows that you can always catch us at. I am going to shop horror shows. I'm not a fan of, I know enough. There's certain shows that we're not going to kind of ever look at, but we're thinking maybe try Creature Feature for maybe getting a table, but we're going to actually go this year as just patrons, and I think Doug Jones is going to be there this year, so that should be fun. So we're going to kind of go and hang out on St. Patty's Day. Yeah. That could be bad, but yeah, we're going to try that and see what that show's like. If that seems to be like where we feel like we may be able to build a home, then maybe that'll be for next year where we go.
Okay.
For the Fright Night Sketches booth.
Yeah. I go to Horror Realm Con in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's kind of a smaller convention. It's at Crown Plaza, and then there's a mall right across the way. And they have about 14 celebrity guests, and then everybody else is vendors. So
nice. There's one I do want. I am kind of interested in trying. Have you heard of the band Ice Nine Kills?
Yes.
Okay, so they tried it. I guess it was last year. They'd had a show called the Silver Scream Con in Massachusetts, and I believe they're doing it again this year. So we're debating trying to kind of get up to Massachusetts to see that one, just because we're fans of the band, and the ticket. I love the idea. I mean, you're buying a ticket for the concert, and at the same time you get to go to the show. So it's like it's the con and the concert. I've always loved that concept. So that should be fun.
That should definitely be a blast. Let me know how Creature Feature is, because I've always wanted to go to it, and I just can't go to it this year. But I don't know.
You should go. If you show up Sunday, we'll come hang out.
Well, I'm going to Horror Realm, and I'm in the process of saving money for a house and moving, and so I'm planning stuff for next year. So that's why.
Well, there's also another one I think a mutual friend of ours runs or helps assist with is that Carolina Fear Fest.
Yeah, that's Matt
It's
Burns.
Burns. Yeah.
Mr. Burns. No, it's Matt Burns.
That's another one that we were debating trying to kind of get down to at some point. It's a little far, a little bit of a
Oh
drive
yeah.
for it, but might be a good time.
Yeah, and then I'm going to Monster Mania, and that's in Hunt Valley.
Yeah, Monster Mania is always a good time. That's one show. I don't think I'd ever vend at, but it's usually fun to go to.
Oh yeah.
Haven't been in a really long time. That actually that's where the crew that I used to hang with a lot. That's where they are
Okay.
at usually. So I tend to try to keep the
Understood.
distance.
Yeah. They're gonna have uh the guy from Bloody Valentine, the original miner, so that's who I'm looking
Nice.
forward to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, them sign my Toon Bloody Miner figure, so that's what I'm looking for.
There you go. It'd be nice to get like a pickaxe, but I don't think they'll let you have that in there.
Yeah, they used to like do that, but now it's like about the weapons and everything, so which I
Oh,
get. But
oh yeah. Well, I mean, you heard what happened, right? So one of the big things that happened there was Kane Hodder was given a bunch of machetes to sign, and it was like a freak accident. He wasn't like serious about it. He just didn't realize the one. I guess the one was like, like it was a legit machete, and he was just throwing it around or whatever. He ended up slicing a friend of his by accident.
oh
And it
man.
was like, oh Jesus, forget it. Okay, well, no more of this kind of stuff going on
Yeah.
anymore. So yeah, order that stuff online from them, but yeah, don't be bringing it to the shows.
Jason's skills exposed.
Right? It's like, whoops. Well, it was that, and then Kane used to be able to pick you up by your neck, like
Oh yeah.
because he knows how to do it properly
Yeah.
without hurting anybody. So he can pick you up
Yes.
by your neck, take the picture. But
Mhm.
apparently that even got flagged. Like there's so many things that people are like, we can't have you doing that anymore. It's like, oh man. I mean, it was part of the fun, but
Oh yeah.
it only takes one person. Just takes one person, and then that's gone. So.
Exactly. Who was it? There was somebody. When I met the girl from uh, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Bug Girl. And we did this pose where we hold our arms and legs and do like this
Oh, she's
giant
in the
thing.
thing.
Yeah, so she was a lot of fun. Someone recorded and put it on TikTok, I think.
Yeah, one of I actually Nightmare on Elm Street was probably one of my absolute favorites. I got to meet Robert Englund at Monster Mania. As a kid, I had a huge crush on Tuesday Night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was funny. It was really funny because she showed up at Pop Rockin' New Year's Evil, and my wife knows that I had a crush on her. Great, right? Good times. So
Oh no.
she's like, I'm going to go tell her. I'm like, oh, thank you. But yeah, it was funny. It was good. I mean,
Oh
she's a
yeah.
super cool person. There's so many different celebrities that I've met over the years that are absolutely awesome
Mhm.
to just hang with and talk to. If you ever get the chance to meet Damien Leone, guy at the Terrifier, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna
Absolute
be at Horror
stand
Realm.
up guy, super cool to talk to and hang and just have a conversation with. It's great. David Howard Thornton's awesome. Did you see Terrifier too?
Someone just kind of got it for me for
Oh,
birthday.
you have to watch it. You gotta watch it. It is
Yeah.
awesome. I laugh hysterically the whole time. I do. I absolutely. Both the missus and I will sit there and we'll just watch it and just we just get a kick out of all the practical effects and everything else. That's us.
Oh, definitely. Um, but yeah, I've always liked Doug Jones, and you'll have to tell me about talking to Doug Jones. He's on my bucket list.
Oh, you
um,
got to go then. You should go. I mean,
I know, but it's like 4 hours from where I live.
look, hey, 4 hours, and then you got to meet Doug Jones.
I'll
I'm just
see.
saying, like, if it's on your bucket list, you see, there's no such Henry Rollins, who's like one of my favorite people of all time.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as pastime. There's no such thing as free time. All you have is lifetime. Go.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? It's the number one thing. I've learned you don't put it off, because
yeah.
like let's say if your whole thing was you just wanted to climb a mountain, and it was a special mountain, and you're young at the time and you're thinking about it and you're like, okay, I just got to save up. I got all this plan of how I'm going to do it. Okay, cool. But stuff along the way in life will happen. So if you don't do it then, you're going to wait and wait and wait and wait. What happens when you turn 60 and you can't do it anymore? So now your whole life you spent trying to climb that mountain, it's gone, because you can't. Like physically you can't. Had you left and just, you may not have had the best time, or may not have been able to get everything that you wanted out of it, or may have had to sleep like, at the base of the mountain for a little while or something. But nonetheless, you could have gone and done it, and you chose not to. So no, you should go, man. Sorry.
I'll look into it.
Throw some wisdom at you.
Yeah. I'll look into it.
Yeah, that's just me, man. I just I don't feel that life is too short to not do the things you want to do. Like me, I just want to draw. Like I get a lot of people looking at me like, happy early birthday. Like you said, you're turning 40. I'm 45.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no joke, but it's just, that's who I am. I will never not draw cartoons and comics and all this other stuff, because it's stuff that I love, I'm never gonna not listen to punk rock music. I'm not that, I get told all the time, when are you gonna grow up? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? It's like, well, those are the things that are for you. Might not be the things for everybody. You should be who you are throughout your whole life. You shouldn't try to adapt and be someone else just to appease others.
Yep.
That's why we create a punk rock magazine and do the comic books and do what we do and do what we love. And Banner's 666 models and the craziness that you see.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I have climbed somewhat of a mountain. I've always wanted my own show, and here I am today.
And 140, what am I, 149?
49, yeah.
I missed it by one.
Yeah. But I always wanted to make sure people were heard and that their stories are told, because it is hard as creative people when we're not heard and our stories aren't told. So I wanted to make sure that people always had opportunities, because I feel like in this world there's not a lot of opportunities, and we have to create them so that way people can thrive and be successful.
That's right, man. DIY or die.
Yeah.
Do it yourself or die. Simple as that.
So
look at you, 149, man. Yeah. 149. That's a lot.
It is. It just, when I interviewed like 6-8 people, that was sometimes a lot, so I've kicked it down some just so my brain can process it all. But my thing is I want everyone to get to the certain point of the mountain. You don't have to be, and this is my wisdom, I don't view anybody on the top. I want everyone to be or I don't want anyone at the bottom. I want everyone at the top. And my thing is while you may think you're alone on that mountain, you don't know that my hand is there to help push you to go to the next point. So
exactly. Support everybody, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. And then, like my stuff, that people see that I'm silly and goofy, but that's who I am. I have to be exactly who I am, because there are a lot of other people who are a lot more serious, and so I knew I had to separate and differentiate and make myself unique.
No, we always, Dan and I do that all the time. We go places and we're like, we try to find our people, and people that aren't trying to be so adult and so much not. Yeah, it's funny. You get in those conversations and you'll see her across the room. She'll be like, "We found our people. Let's go."
Well, I think back to sometimes when certain guests have like they're like, oh, we can do this on your show, we can do that. We don't have to just sit and be narrow. We can express ourselves. We can be colorful. We can, show emotion and joy and all these
Right.
different things. And I said, well, yeah, that's the point. I don't want anyone to feel like it's just hard press, interview time. It's just
Let's do it. What is the
do-
seventh question? Seventh
yes,
question. Let's go. No.
yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mark it on my abacus. But
Oh, I also forgot. Just so if anybody out there is interested in like Bigfoot, cryptid crate stuff, I do also do artwork for cryptid crate, their
oh,
T-shirts and
okay.
whatnot. So I just did the Rougarou, which is basically just a big werewolf. But yeah, that's actually out there and available right now too. So please
Oh,
give them a look. It's
will
just every now
do.
and then they always reach out to different artists throughout, and they always hit me up once in a while. So that one was fun. That was a fun
Well,
project.
that's going to do it for us on Dan-A-Plooza. I thank my guest, Blair Webb. Stay tuned. Dan-A-Plooza will be back Sunday, March 12th. We already have a Heroinberg panel with Heroin Arctica and Villain Chlorina. We have Stephanie Swift, actress. And then on March 24th, Friday, we also have from the original Glow Wrestling, Roxy Astor. We have filmmaker Sean Wright, Night of the Axemen, he'll be talking about. Uh, and we also have lots of amazing guests. Stay tuned for Dan-A-Plooza. Please follow Blair Webb. Check out his links on Fright Night Sketches. We'll have the URL. We'll keep posting stuff on the Dan-A-Plooza Facebook page. Check out also the Punk Rock Magazine. If you are at a show, go talk to Blair and Dana's, and you'll have a good time. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Take care.
Will do.